All right, so today's video, we are watching a silver 4 tank on PC playing some D.Va. And they say, hello, I had just swapped to PC almost 6 months ago after playing on a PS4 for about 4 years. It took me some time to adjust, but I eventually got the hang of it and my mechanics improved a bit. So I just now began to grind comp again. I peaked Diamond 3 on tank when I was on console, but now I'm just silver here in PC lobbies. Not to mention, my placements didn't really go well. I don't really understand why, because I thought I'd place at least in mid or high gold, and I don't exactly think I'm a horrible tank. Now for my game, I feel like this was my best D.Va game so far, but I find it quite difficult to stay consistent. Some games I'm trying to do too much, while other games I'm doing absolutely nothing. And this game felt like the in-between where I started understanding when to engage and such. I had a few embarrassing moments here and there, but overall I think I played well outside from my DM usage and positioning maybe. I would love to hear your feedback on my gameplay. Thank you. Just to kind of make you feel better, if I swapped over to console right now, I would probably get destroyed. Even with my knowledge, it takes some time to get used to the mechanics. Yes, it would help me a little bit, but we'll see how it goes, and let's find out. All right, you're already doing better than I am. You're clearing a Junkrat trap at the beginning of the doorway. I run into that every time. Yeah, I was gonna say, just so everybody knows, by the way, if you're playing D.Va in this situation, you want to fly up here at the beginning. Like, unless like there's a Roadhog standing here AFK. Like, if you're playing D.Va, always try to get up here and then be above them like this. It gives you the opportunity to go to here. It gives you opportunity to pick off people out of position. It gives you opportunity just to be around them in a circle. Do not go right down middle here as D.Va. Pretty much any mobile tank. Okay. You going over here? Yep. Okay. Keep in mind, it's okay to stay in that high ground. Like that's like, you can stay up there and poke at them for a while. You can use your defense matrix from above them. Try not to overcommit to a kill in the backline as D.Va until you know it's like guaranteed. I feel like you already gave up your spot pretty quickly, and now here you are. Wow, that is so unlucky for your soldier. This is a treat. The Junkrat just realized. Good job waiting on your percentage there. I do like that. Okay. Now remember, time your engages. Okay, I mean, this is okay for now. For now. Yep, okay, good job. And check, keep in mind, like, I hear about this all the time where, like, people expect their tank to be with them at all times. What the D.Va is doing right now is technically correct. When you're playing ranked, if your D.Va is doing this and you're getting frustrated, this is what your D.Va is technically supposed to do to be able to get the maximum value. D.Va right now is kind of a paper-mache tank. I know that sounds kind of weird, like, considering, like, how strong she can be at times, but she's really gotten a lot of, like, micro nerfs over the past, like, 6 months, and when you play, like, in the front and the center the whole time, your D.Va's gonna get rolled. You know, just to kind of give you some context, in all tiers right now, the win rate is continuously fallen. She is now the third worst hero in the game at 46% win rate. So the only like true way for D.Va to get good value right now is this type of play style. So if you see your D.Va in the backline, obviously if your D.Va's going in there and feeding 24/7 and doing nothing at all, that's different. But this is like the play style. This is how you're supposed to play D.Va now. And if you play it more front and center, you're going to find a lot of problems. It doesn't mean you can't be with your team. It means that you need to find ways to break out from team fights to end up in these spots. Again, there's a lot of nuance to that and like where you can go and all that, but just general idea on that one. Yeah. Here we go. Go, baby. Look on the bottom left. There you go. Great. I mean, great job on the backline. This is excellent. Perfect. That's exactly what you want to do. You go in the backline. You basically distract them. You notice how basically the D.Va didn't have to go for the Orisa at all. Perfect. Perfect game. I will say, does anybody notice this when people switch over from console, the sensitivity is really high? That's a trend I've noticed. When I watch a lot of players that say they just came over from console, the sensitivity starts off really high. If it works for you and you find that it works really well, keep it, right? Like, there's pro players who have high sensitivity, but sometimes it might be a good idea to look at your DPI settings or like look at some other things, and initially it might feel a little bit slower sensitivity-wise, but it might even out more. But that's just a little side note I've noticed. This could be a good ult spot if you wanted to. Light control's looking good there. Yeah, if you're doing a lot of chip DM, you're DMing a lot of chip damage that, like, you don't even need a DM. Your movement's good. I mean, it definitely aligns with some things that you mentioned, but let's see. Unlucky timing on your ult. But you got the kill on Orisa, and you got a kill on the, I said unlucky timing because of the Yari ultimate. Yep, right idea. DMing your teammate. Perfect. Good job. This is where you would help your team, by the way. You're assisting your soldier in. This is good. This is good. Yeah, I mean, I think you're doing this right. I mean, you're avoiding the Orisa at most times. You're going for backline control. You're doing a lot of damage to him. I don't think you're playing this bad. I don't like. I mean, obviously, like, there's a couple of things you can work on here. Yep, I want you to be careful of this one. I've been debated by this many times. In Orisa, if you don't know the gold cooldown, we'll do that every time. I've been there, done that. You can go to the diva. You just got to, I mean, the Orisa, you just got to be careful of overcommitting your flight. Think about what the heroes have cooldown-wise. Like an Orisa has a javelin. If you get too aggressive there and you're not ready to be able to DM any of their stuff, that's what's going to happen. So you better be prepared for that type of play. That's one of those like hindsight ones of like, okay, you know, in hindsight, I probably shouldn't make that play. One thing you're doing on your DM is sometimes you free DM a little bit too, that like without even knowing what's going on, you just start DMing. And it's not like a huge deal, but it can add up over time if you do it multiple times. Again, Chad, do you notice how the pressure of the backline here? This is what I'm talking about. This is good. Yes, your teammates have an Orisa to deal with, but like this is what Overwatch 5v5 tank it is now. Yeah, if you sit there on the tank the whole time, you're gonna be in a weird spot. So like, yeah, I mean, you're doing a good job. I mean, this is exactly what you look for. Is it weird of me to say that if you just keep playing, you're gonna climb out of silver? Am I seeing something wrong here that like would prevent that? I don't think so. I think like you're playing Diva correctly. I think this is just a matter of you just did your placements and you did your games and you just ended up in silver, and I think over time you'll climb up pretty quickly. Because what you're doing right now is exactly what you're supposed to do. Like, and you're playing it well too. It's not like you're doing like, you ever like do something like what you're supposed to do, but you just don't play it as well? That's me on like some heroes, like the tanks I don't play as much. Like I know exactly what to do, but I just don't like quite have the stuff down yet. That's what it feels like here. The only thing I can say, and again, this is only purely for rank. If you're for some reason a pro player seeing this, oh well, that's unlucky. I've been there, done that. You won't be able to use your diva ults more aggressively, but I do believe that you had opportunities to use your diva ult more aggressively. Granted, it wasn't a good spot for the Mercy. Yep, going for the flanks, perfect. Also, you do a better job at clearing out Junkrat traps than I do, so props to you. That right there, as much as I love killing Torb turrets, I think you can have more time killing somebody else during that and then like saving like your next kind of cooldown rotation to get that turret. I feel like you gave up a couple of limbs here. What I saw was you kind of playing at like not optimal range trying to kill that. What I would have done is looked at the Junkrat when the Junkrat backed away at this angle. The reason why is because the Junkrat's kind of a free kill. This Torb turret should be able to be dealt with. In worst case scenario, you can always fly in with your team and kind of like have like this kind of like pincer move, and you and your teammates can come in like and clean up these kills and then kill that. So like if optimal range, I'd say you'd be about right here if you want to kill the turret. When you're standing here and killing the Torb turret, you can see how many shots it took. You just want to be a little bit closer and you'll get more kills with that. Overall, like right idea, just a little bit of a target focus issue, which again, like if I'm talking to you about target focus issues, it's a good thing. That means you're doing the right things. It just, you need to get your target focus up a little bit. And I still think you would kill that Torb turret later on. But as you can see, that Junkrat that went by you has now gone into your team and got a kill on your Diva, and maybe it doesn't matter, but like, you know, or on your Zen maybe, whatever it was. Not your Diva, on your Zen. I don't know why I said Diva, you are the Diva. But like that could have been an opportunity to prevent a kill. And you know, it doesn't like hurt your team then, but it could hurt your team later. You know what I mean? Like, or like it could like in a different game, that could be the different thing. So get through the choke as quick as you can. Make sure you have your cooldowns. That's what you're doing. Diva's pushing in. It's okay to do a slight peel here while you wait. Now you go in. Go in, back right. Yep, perfect. You know what to do. You're doing this correctly. You're gonna climb. I've seen enough out of you to know that like, I've seen enough. Well, that's how you know it's still a silver game when that gets all those kills there with the Diva ult. But yeah, I would say like you're doing a lot of the right thing right now when you play, and it's very fixable. I would say, with some of the small things that you're doing wrong. Any tips for Diva perks? I go with the flight one. where when you fly into people, you extend the range. Because I like to be more active in my suit, which means that if I'm Baby D.Va, I don't need the extra HP because I'd rather be in my suit anyway. Granted, I would say that for certain ranks, it's probably still good to get that. And then I usually use the defense matrix one where you get, or the shield one where you get a little bit of extra shield. It just gives me a little bit more to play with, like on my how I manage my HP. But again, you can't go wrong with either or. D.Va has pretty okay perks. Like that's the best way to describe D.Va's perks. They're okay. You know. Yeah, the ult. Oh, you have a remake opportunity. There it is. Saw that coming from a mile away. Don't mind your aggressive ult there. Keep in mind there was a Torb ultimate around there, so you almost ran into it, but that's okay. Great play, good job, get the kills. You're good. Easy. Yeah, you're gonna climb, by the way. You're not. I think this is just a matter of a playtime thing now. I think you just need to play the game and you'll eventually climb out. I don't see anything that's telling me otherwise, to say the least. You're gonna be fine. You're doing everything right. Stop and warp. Thanks for the except DMing your teammate at the beginning. Never mind. That was kidding. Obviously, that's just, sometimes it happens. Obviously, you want to keep your teammate alive during that. Okay, so they're running indecisiveness. Yep. Good job. This is a weird one. I want to point something out here, and I see people do this in a lot of ranks, and I kind of want to give a little bit of feedback on this. You don't have to like push here. Like this choke is so ridiculous. Like look at the point of view of this right here, and then if they're playing here. If they're playing here and you're pushing into this back of the team, it's so much easier for them to kill you. But if you're right here and you're kind of keeping this held at this point, they're kind of stuck here until something else happens. Yes, like you can be aggressive here in the backline, but I'd actually prefer if you were up here to start with and going like this, right? Going like this, but like this choke is so ridiculous to get through. A Junkrat running down like this sight line here is a guaranteed kill. Like I've had so many like team fights. I just hold right here as D.Va because I can basically play between here, and then if they don't like push the card for a second, I can then maneuver here. Just be careful of overcommitting to here because I have done this before too. I get demeched and it's over. Play to your advantages, and that's one of them that your team has on defense. And I've seen a lot of ranks give up that, like you push in too far and then you just lose an advantage. So. As we just saw, you almost just did that. That was more you getting away with a play you shouldn't have gotten away with than it being a good play. Now, granted, it is in silver, so there's a little bit less of like being punished for those type of plays. But I also want you to develop those like good habits as you keep climbing again, right? Because obviously you have that diamond experience from console, but now I just want you to like make sure you're not developing those habits of like being too ridiculous with that. But it all works out either way. Nice job. This one you can go in a little bit more aggressively because you got some kills, but you need to be careful. Play to escape this. Good job. Excellent. And you ate Junkrat's mines there. Perfect. The reason why I'm okay with that push after is once you kill the Ana, they're not going to be able to sustain their teammates as much as they would with any other hero at that point. Obviously, they have a Kiriko, but like the Kiriko can heal well, but you're going to fall behind on heals, you know, unless you get a good cleanse off. And obviously, even then, a good cleanse off has kind of changed how things approach that. So the point I'm making is you're again making a good play here, in my opinion, after you kill the Ana. If you don't kill the Ana there, that's where things get a little bit more like suspect. I'll tell you how you want to play that. So that's why I'm like more okay with that play once you get the Ana kill, because now they're not going to be able to burst up the heals and they're going to be kind of playing more defensively. You know, just to kind of make it clear, whenever you're playing D.Va, always have a plan to escape out. Unless you have your ultimate and you're all in and you're all like you see in pro play sometimes, and it works in rank too. Like right here, you have your ultimate. You could get away with this. Now think about the heroes you're going against, but like this is fine because they haven't regrouped yet. See what I'm saying? They don't have numbers yet, and your tracer's there this time to help. So you see how like I can give advice in one area, but it changes based off of the rest of the scenarios. Now that your tracer's behind, they're snowballing back in. This is all perfect because you're taking advantage of that happening, right? So this is why I always say, like, you know, don't be afraid to make those plays. Just understand when and when not to make the play. And I think that was a perfect understanding. The first time, you can get killed because they're all sitting there waiting for you. Now when your teammates are there or you're getting, like, the flanks happening or they're down one, now you have that advantage to push up like this again. And those are, like, how, that's how you play D.Va. It's like, you look at the situation. If you have a numbers advantage or they can't DMAC you, you make that play. If you feel like there's a chance they can DMAC you, you evaluate if it's worth it. Most of the time it's not. Unless you have your ultimate, which of course you could be more backline pressure now. I get a little bit concerned of Junkrat Mine though. Junkrat Mine is the one thing that rolls me whenever I do these type of like backline pressure plays, is the double mine to kill your baby D.Va before you even get a chance. I will say, You are very hesitant on your diva ults. Don't be afraid in rank to use them. That's all I'm gonna say. Not like that, by the way. I wasn't talking to the other diva when I said that. That was not a good diva ult. But I want you to be very careful, like, not careful, but like in ranked, you can get away with diva kills way more than you would in like you can get kills with diva ult very easily. And as you know, in these early ranks too, I think you can also get away with it even more. Hence the diva pack, as we've heard. So from bingo cards, like right here, like I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm ulting this. If I see this right here, I am ulting this because I know that two things are gonna happen. One, they're all backing away, really far away with 15 seconds left on the clock, right? Two, if they don't go that way, they push into your team, which gives your team a numbers advantage. And three, there's a pretty good chance you get at least one, and then the rest is just an advantage again. This is a ranked ultimate. Again, in pro play, etc., that's different because you need it for survivability. You're getting value out of this no matter what. The only thing I would say is make sure to do it from like an angle that won't get you killed, or you can just go up here and then just send it. A little bit lower, by the way. That way, if it goes a little bit lower and like kind of like here, it would get people going here. It could get people going here, and it would get people kind of backing up. So either way, that's what I would do in that situation. You know, you might not see me do it in like a champion game right now because I just recognize, okay, they have this, this, and this. But in a silver game, you can send it. Now you've lost that timing of this ultimate for now. So you can't do that play anymore, but we'll see how it goes out the rest of the way. Awesome. That's going to get somebody somehow. Nope. So let's talk about that. What would have been a better option? Ulting the bridge and going for that aggressive, don't let them touch the card play, or throwing your ultimate on the cart where they've already tapped it and they can just back off for a second. See what I'm saying? So when you have your advantages, that's how you can win games and guarantee you win games. Obviously, I think you're going to win this game based off of how you're playing and how your team's doing. But the point I'm making is like sometimes you kind of have to like think about those aggressive ults rather than that really safe, super defensive play. Now, of course, your team wins it. But again, development habits for the rest of your rank is going to be the way to do it. Yeah, I mean, this is great. You played a good game of Diva. There you go. So we'll pause right here. A couple of things I want you to just keep in mind. One, defense matrix management. Remember, burst over poke. A couple of times you pre-DM an area where it's going to be poke anyway, not much burst. More aggressive diva ults. I usually don't even give that recommendation, but I feel like you kind of know where to position yourself to begin with. So a bit more of aggressive diva ults. You said gold. I think you could be plat with this. Am I wrong? I feel like, you know, with all the videos I've watched, I think you could already be in plat with how you play diva and how you position. So I'm not too worried about you climbing. Like, it's just a playtime issue. Like, you just need to play more. Like, I know that sounds weird. It just sometimes you'll get placed lower than you expect, and then you'll climb pretty quickly after that. I don't think you should be in silver with what I'm seeing right here, straight up. To give you a comparison, look at the other diva, how they were, you know, a diva who more than likely, you know, is in silver, spent more time standing on the cart, sticking with the team, not doing backline pressure. That's the difference in like kind of that in-game knowledge that I think you have right now. I think your game knowledge is probably in that diamond area. As you climb, let's see what happens when the movement gets a little bit better. So like, let's say that like I'm saying, hey, I think, you know, you have diamond knowledge at this point, but then you get stuck in plat. It could be that like as the movement gets better, your current, you know, settings are a little bit off and you need to adjust them. But that's something to get. Once you get there, then you evaluate that. But great job. I mean, you played a good diva. Keep that up. Keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, you got this. You absolutely got this. If you liked the video, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the YouTube if you haven't, leave a comment. All that helps. If you want to submit your own spectating or any other things for my videos, my Discord is where to do that. You know, outside of that, if you want to watch another one of these videos on the bottom here, it's going to be a good one. Click it. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.